Hello, and welcome to an intro to Anthro with two humans. I'm human number one, John McCray.
And I'm human number two, John Lehr.
And this is the podcast where we reassess what it means to be human. And the title of this episode is Spanking Off the Years, a Celebratory Look at Birthday Traditions.
Oh, spanking off the years.
I was thinking that too. Was that Steely Dan?
Steely Dan.
But obviously, John, the title is a reference to the birthday tradition of spanking someone on their birthday. The birthday person.
It's very strange. It's very strange. I mean, I always assumed it was because they used to spank babies when they come out of the womb to make them start crying so that they breathe. Yeah. I always thought it was something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't really. There's a debate about what the actual meaning of it is. It's also called in other cultures.
Life is pain.
Get used to it.
Get used to it.
But one of the things I did read was what you were talking about. Was it was like the baby's first experience, and we come back to that of the spanking. And then it's also known as getting your birthday licks or bumps. So like in other countries in Europe and India, I think that you'll come up and you'll punch somebody in the arm.
Jesus.
for it. Yeah. And you usually get one swat for each year. And then remember, there was always the last one was one to grow on.
One to grow on. There used to be a thing called the spanking machine.
Yeah.
Where you'd have to run down between two rows of people and everybody's hitting you.
I saw it that way, and then a version of it where people would line up with their legs spread,
right,
standing up, and then you'd have to go through on your hands and knees in between their legs, they would be spanking you.
And then there's always the people who just really overdo it, like they're just sociopaths. You know, you really see who in your friend group is like evil.
Yeah.
You know, Jesus.
Well, that was, I was reading, and in this research for this episode, a lot of parents they're trying to get away from the spanking at the birthdays because the violence of it all.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, you don't have to be a parenting genius to know that one. Let's not hit our kid. Okay.
I don't, my friend growing up, it was like we were always punching each other and hitting each other and tackling each other. So I don't remember it being that violent or that serious, but I guess some people,
Well, it is violent, whatever. Anyway,
but just for people who still want to keep the tradition going, I did come across one particular website that featured a picture of Betty Page with a whip.
Jesus.
It was a spanking website.
Oh, and here we go. Now we're talking a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Okay.
They did a full article on the tradition of birthday spanking.
Did
they? But just
was
so
it a fetish site about spanking where people love to be spanked while they're having sex?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was going to use it in my references, and I was like, I better not. Use it.
We'll get flagged.
Yeah. I went to some other pages.
We're already getting copyright when I sang Steely Dan at the top. So the chances of this thing ever making air.
If they say anything, we'll just cover it up with the rim shots or the what we have.
I lost the rim shot. I've got the rim shot, but I don't have that.
Yeah,
I'm so upset.
I think we were both where you were out of tune enough that maybe Steely Dan when they tried to
finally my tone deaf pays off for me. Tone deafness.
But anyway, I just want to say for those who are worried about the tradition of spanking, this website, if you're a consenting adult, the birthday spanking is still going on strong.
Yes, it is. Yes. Now that's fan. I'm all for consenting adults.
Yeah.
But kids, I don't know. Do we need to hit them? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't don't know. It was always the other. It never was parents. It was always your friends that you invited over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But they don't just drop kids into the meat factory like they did when we were little.
I know.
Some do, but we were just thrown into the machine.
Yeah. I could see why it's not, but it's also good to know that it's still out there.
Yes, it is.
You could search it. You could find it.
Mm-hmm.
And just moving on, just to give a little background on today's episode, John, is this is our 52nd episode.
Yes, it is. We have 52. And it was a breeze.
I know.
I didn't even break a sweat.
I know. It really went by fast. It was.
It did.
Painless.
You do tons of work on the front end, and then I have to deal with the tech on the back end. But we've both gotten pretty. It's getting smoother. You still do way more work than me.
Well, it's a lot of reading, which I would be doing anyway.
Yeah,
is the whole thing.
That's what I was going to say. You love what you do. The tech end, I'm not crazy about it, but I've made peace with it.
And again, having done shows like with big casts before, and you and I have done live shows where it's just the two. I have to say, like it's you're a pleasure to work with. As far as
you. Thank you for saying that. You're very professional as well.
No ego at all.
My favorite part of the podcast is when I count you down. And I go 3, 2, and then I don't say 1 because that's how professionals do it. Right. And then I point at my camera so you can see me point at you. And there's that moment when you're waiting for your cue that I really enjoy that.
You know how I still, even though this is digital, I give you a little time. I give a couple beats,
and it's good. It's you're right. You give me a little header on it. Thank you for that.
I'm still thinking it's like analog that we need a little place to cut in there, but I still give you.
They call that handles. You give me a little handle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah.
I'll keep doing it then.
Thank you. Yeah. Don't change.
But
now we have another birthday to talk about, though, don't we?
I will get to that one coming up.
Okay,
I will get to that one, but we got to take care of business first. Right. We got to pay the bills.
Business first, then party in the back.
But so we've done 52 episodes. We do one a week, so that's and there's 52 weeks in a year. Yep. So by my calculation,
more or less, there's a bit of it's off, which is why we have the leap year, so it's not exactly
right. But for our purposes,
just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I think I looked it up. It was like 52.13 or something.
Right. And then it changes too over time. I think there's another thing that's happening as well. Because the Earth is slightly moves on its axis. Yeah, there's something else that throws it off over, a millennia. But
I thought about us doing like the actual date that we started the show or first published our show. Yeah. And we had done a practice one early without telling anybody in May of last year.
Yes. God, those were the halcyon days when we had 10. We had banked 10 at one point. Yeah. Boy, those got gobbled up, didn't they?
We could just like carefree. We'd be like, oh, don't worry about recording tonight. Just plug in,
Those were the salad day. Whatever.
Piltdown Man. Just put in Piltdown Man. I know. But then we started that we posted 2 in the end of June.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard to pick out a date that would be our actual our birth date. So
I think you're doing the right thing. I think this is I think you did the right thing. You can't be, nothing's precise.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Particularly anthropology.
Right. And and I like what you were talking about, the Earth's axis changing. This allows, I think our show should have our birth date, if we do every 52 episodes, will transit through the zodiac signs. I think so.
and if we do live forever, which is possible, once science catches up to that, then by our first 1,000 years, we'll lose we'll lose a week or something. You know?
Oh, no. I'd have to get out a calculator.
But by then we'll be robots. Our consciousness will be in a machine, and we'll be living on Mars or whatever the hell they're going to do.
I look forward to it. I look forward to it myself.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want to live forever. If I tell you to kill me, do it, okay? Okay. Please.
You asked for it. He asked for it.
I know. Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to say congratulations to you and to all of our listeners. We couldn't have done it without you.
Yes.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, everybody. Everybody get wasted. If you're not sober like us, time to drink up.
Yeah. We live vicariously. Please do it and send us some photos on our Instagram.
Exactly. Yep.
But I will say, I feel like we've all grown up together this last year.
So true.
We're 1 year older, 1 year smarter, wiser, I think. And I think most of us, or a lot of us, are acting more mature.
Yes. Yes. We sure are. And mature, depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah, I know. That's a running joke.
I've noticed as I'm age, my neck is turning into my father's, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I don't like the older neck coming in. Yeah. It's not right now. Right now it's looking okay. But sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh, Jesus, that's dad.
Yeah. What was it? It just kind of hangs there? Kind of like
it's just like wrinkles in a weird way. And I remember growing up going, ugh, I didn't like looking at his neck. He had a big old Adam's apple and a wrinkly neck. And now I know my son's thinking the same thing. But his neck is nice and taut.
Yeah.
He's all muscle, that kid.
Yeah. Give him 40 years.
I know.
So anyway, John, I was going to say we're well on our way to sitting at the adults table. We're not there yet. Not there yet. But a few more episodes, and I think we'll be able to make the transition.
Excellent. I look forward to that.
The other thing, John, and you brought it up already, is tomorrow, June 10th, is my actual birthday.
That is correct. And I have a double alarm on my iCal because I've been friends with you so long that I've been through multiple computers and iPhone, so it doubles you up. Like I've got like 9 contacts cards. That's how when you really know you've been around somebody for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, first cell phone, you were in there, you know?
Yeah, just popping up. Are you a big birthday guy? You look forward to people's birthdays? Some people are like really serious about their birthdays.
No, I'm not. Mine falls around Thanksgiving, so it's often ignored. In fact, and I believe I mentioned this on the podcast, there was a year when my entire family forgot my birthday. And I don't mean my parents and my brother. I mean my wife and my kids all forgot my birthday. And I thought it was a joke at first. Yeah. And then I thought, oh no, there's going to be some surprise thing. They're trying to give me the old, faint within a feint. And no, just a dropped ball by all 3 of them.
Really?
Sons of bitches.
How long did you say something? How long did you wait?
No, one of them figured it out at some point. Because I was just like, what? I mean, honestly, I didn't, it was all right.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, the following year, I got some good stuff because they all felt so guilty. I got like a sushi dinner and I don't know, like my daughter hand wrote and painted a card. It was really nice.
Were you, every time the doorbell rang over that Thanksgiving weekend, were you all excited? Like, oh, here we go.
Here we go. They've flown in friends from my old days in Chicago.
Oh, no.
Mr. McCray will be here. This is going to be good.
And then it rolls around Sunday night after Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah. So like
nothing.
In the week, the business week just starts the next week.
But you know what? I don't really care because during that week, Thanksgiving week, there's a lot of important football games happening, and it's really more of a work week for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've got to see the standings are starting to take shape. I got to see where the Chiefs are.
How was it growing up? Was it like? I mean, people always complain about when their birthday's around Christmas or something.
It's not great. No. Yeah. It gets ignored. It's just kind of an appendix.
Yeah.
An add-on. And happy birthday. Okay.
Pumpkin, we got you pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Pumpkin cake or something.
Here's a turkey.
Yeah. For your birthday, your favorite. We used to always go out for my birthday. I like going away someplace unusual. So we go up to northern New Mexico with the dogs. And then COVID came along and everything was closed. And so we don't really do, and then one of our dogs passed away. So we don't really do much anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't even take off work. So I'll probably...
you and Mary go to a lot of fun places together. You guys stay in a lot of weird, like off the wall, interesting spots.
Yeah.
Like you've gone to Truth or Consequences. You go to that one place where your bathtub's really a mineral hot spring.
Yeah.
What's that one? Where's that one?
That's a hot Firewater Lodge in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Oh, that's in Truth or Consequences.
Yeah,
okay, wow.
You should come out.
I would love to. The way you describe it, it sounds fantastic. You have a motel room and a bathtub, but the bathtub spits out hot mineral water.
Yeah. Right in the room. You don't have to leave. You just
That's what I want.
And soak, and the dogs are in there with you.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But now, tomorrow, I think I'll probably just pour myself a fake beer and, I don't know, just sob myself to sleep. I don't know what it will be.
Does Mary have any Percocet or anything you could grind up and snort? Just give yourself a birthday bump.
She's got a lot of pills over on her side of the bed. Maybe I'll go over
check those out.
Just do one of those.
Take pictures of those labels and send it to your old buddy. I'll walk you through it.
But John, I will say there's one thing I asked for my birthday this year. You want to know what it is?
A spanking from Mary.
No, now I may add it. But it was a pair of Watson and Company socks.
Oh, well done. Our sponsors.
Watson and Company socks are made by bipedal primates for bipedal primates. They come in 17 different colors, and they're only $3 a pair. And the world may not have your back, but Watson and Company has your feet.
They're really good socks.
They are good socks.
It's nice to have a sponsor that I truly believe in.
Yeah.
Because when that Crystal Company was sponsoring us, I had to swallow that every week. I mean, when they made that claim that it cured cancer, I had to read that every week. That felt, I don't know, that just didn't feel.
You really sold it though.
But I did. Oh yeah, I'm a professional. I want to keep the lights on.
So anyway, check out Watson and Company socks, watson-co.square.site.
They got to work.
And they
on
also
that. They got to work on the website.
Yeah, they make good birthday gifts.
They really do. Yeah, they're really on Instagram and Facebook. That's where the kids are. You're reading a website. You're showing your age. My daughter would be rolling her eyes at this point.
I think there may be another one. I just want people to go to the right Watson.
Yes. No, I appreciate what you're doing, and so do they.
Yeah. But anyway, John, just to get back to this episode. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about birthdays.
Yes, we are.
How they became so important. And then at the end of this episode, we'll celebrate with some traditional birthday foods from around the world.
Yes, I got a box in the mail.
Yeah,
with I'm so impressed by you. It really is impressive because it's in styrofoam. It's cold. It's individually wrapped and labeled.
Yeah,
you're amazing. You're an amazing
instructions
person.
On there. How to serve
some instructions. Yes, it's like my birthday every time you do that.
Well, this is your birthday today. This is your birthday today.
Okay.
And also, at the UPS store, they remember us because I've sent these out before. And so they just have all the information in there and we can.
Oh, that's fantastic. So here he comes.
No dry ice in there, right? I tell you, no, it's water ice.
Yeah, it's water ice. And you use a post office box.
Right.
But you have to wrap it up because they won't mail it.
Yeah.
So you're pilfering really from the government there.
Yeah.
Because those boxes are free.
Put the rim shot in there. Cover that up. Don't want to get in trouble. I mean, forget about Steely Dan. Now that we're talking about the federal government.
Well, if I'm going down for copyright,
You notice how I wrap it up in brown paper too?
Yes, it looks like I'm getting like a dildo or something. I don't know what's coming.
Mary, that's who we need to have sponsor it.
Yeah.
Mary always makes fun of me for wrapping up my packages in brown paper, but I think it's from that song, that brown paper packages.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do?
I don't know. I guess you don't need to put anything on it. Yeah.
Oh, I see. But really? Okay. But then, because you do send it UPS.
Yeah.
I mean, United States Post.
Sometimes I could.
Well, this one came USPS.
I believe this one should have been UPS.
I think. Oh, really? Okay. I got some. Yeah. They gave me a lot of alerts and let me know where it was, which I like.
It depends on if it has to get there like in 2 days. I send it UPS.
Yeah, I see.
And just so you know, we're not sponsored by UPS.
No, we're not. About UPS. We'll shift right over to DHL if it's cheaper.
So anyway, in the article, the concept of birthday, a theoretical, historical, and social overview in Judaism and other cultures. Now, I thought I wrote long titles, but that's
brutal. That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's the kind of book that only gets assigned, to a professor signing his own book.
Yeah. By the way, if you look at your syllabus, there's only one textbook this semester. And you must buy it. It's not available for rent.
Yeah.
But Orly Redlich says that in ancient history, birthday rituals were solely reserved for kings and nobility members.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, birthday celebrations have evolved into a worldwide tradition.
Oh.
And she notes some of the specific reasons people celebrate birthdays, including that they are a time mark in the cycle of life. In other words, they mark off your progression through certain developmental stages of your life.
Oh,
and hopefully that developmental keeps going. I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like I've plateaued.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was thinking. I'm not aging well. Like I'm not happy about getting old.
No. Well, it's not for the faint of heart. It's going to get a hell of a lot worse too.
Yeah,
a hell of a lot worse. Pretty soon it'll be so miserable we won't even talk about it. We'll just be able to communicate with a look.
Still, we'll still be doing the show. It'll be like an hour and a half of just looks back and forth.
Yeah. Well, we'll have brain implants, so we'll be able to speak by thinking.
Yeah, people have to subscribe to that to understand what we're thinking. But birthdays to me always seem like time. Like I feel like I haven't even started my life. And I know that's ridiculous to say, but
well, we goofed off for a long time. We didn't do anything.
I kept waiting for it to take care of itself, and it never did.
We're Gen Xers. We didn't do any damage, but we didn't do anything either.
Right. I was like, it's like one day you're a fresh-faced kid. With lots of hopes and dreams, and the next day I'm just like another old fucker with a podcast.
You look good though. You look good. You're in perfect condition. Show him your stomach. It's tight as a drum. You hug him. It's like hugging a rock. He's still muscular. You're in perfect shape.
Dried out, sinewy piece of jerky.
I get hurt when I hug you. It hurts.
But Redlich says that birthdays and birthday parties also serve as a socialization means in human development.
Okay. Yeah.
And I did read a lot of articles which talked about or theorized that the reason we have children's birthday parties is that it's an opportunity for us to teach children how to behave in social situations.
Oh, Jesus. They even use our birthday to socialize us,
Yeah, I was thinking it teaches you how to stuff your face with cake.
Yeah.
Be rude to your guests and order them around. And
have a sugar coma and lose it.
Act like a brat for a day. Then send you out into the world,
my son, one of his early birthdays, my wife went to go pick up his cake, and it was a fire truck cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did I ever tell you this?
No.
And the woman, they got the cake and they presented the cake to make sure it was all right. She was at the bakery.
Yeah.
And the woman behind Jennifer just stuck her finger into the cake and put it in her mouth.
Oh, no.
And the woman didn't even, Jennifer was like, the woman didn't realize she'd done it. It was like an impulse control thing. Like she thought about it, wanted to do it, but did it and just did it before she realized she did it.
Wow. Did she acknowledge it after?
Yeah, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Isn't that the craziest thing?
Yeah. What do you do?
Jennifer, we just didn't. But it came. She was too late, couldn't get another cake.
Yeah, yeah.
So
did they try to patch it up, kind of like with Bondo or something? Get some marzipan and stick it on there.
Too late for that. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
What other impulses can she? You know how when you have a knife and you're standing next to somebody, and you're like, Jesus, I can stick this right in their side.
Yeah, I know.
Is she gonna do that? Or when you're driving and there's a cliff and you're like, oh my God, I could just drive off the cliff. Maybe she's gonna do that. She just doesn't have impulse control. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, that is. You think that they would have photos of her at bakeries around town already? Like that would have already. You know what I mean? That's something.
Might have been her first crime, her first lick, first cake lick.
That's awful.
Isn't that
Did she
crazy?
offer any money or anything?
Told you that? No, I don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago. Hudson was 3. He's now 15.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you go in there, it's got to be like getting money out of an ATM when you pick up your cake. Make sure nobody's standing behind you trying to horn in on it. But Redlich says also that the birthday serves as a symbol of belonging and group cohesiveness.
Yeah. It's a community thing.
Right.
We celebrate you.
A day in which the celebrant's sense of belonging and sense of importance are strengthened and nurtured.
Yes. We're all saying we're glad you were born.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's
and
nice.
We've talked about it before that we're social animals. And so so this is an important time where we can just give positive impressions to the birthday boy or girl, whoever it is.
We're going to ignore all your flaws.
Yeah.
On this day. It's your day.
And we could individually and explicitly say to you, you belong here. You're part of this group.
And some people, they take advantage of that power. There are people who like it's their birthday and it's like the whole day or worse, you have people who have like 4 events you have to go to or something.
Oh God.
Have you ever known people like that?
Yeah.
Where the birthday keeps going. You're like, wait, what? They're the same people who have destination weddings. Yeah.
Yeah.
They like deciding for us how we should spend our vacation money.
Yeah. I'm king for a day. I'm king for a day. You all have to go to Seattle for my birthday.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ.
No, what I was thinking about is from experience, I know you get a keg of beer and a bunch of family members together.
Yeah. And that's a birthday party.
Well, then I was thinking that cohesiveness doesn't last for as the more beer flows.
Yeah. Once they tap the next one, then it's trouble.
Yeah.
Night falls.
Yeah. Once it gets dark, everybody's still out back,
You never get 2 kegs.
Yeah.
Never get 2. Just get 1. That's it. Then
everybody goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know that once that happens, it's like you start to think maybe I don't want to be part of this group. You know what I mean?
Reality dawns. The truth is in the wine.
And then Redlich says also that in certain societies, celebrations of birthdays mark off significant cultural transitions in our lives. In other words, a certain age will unlock certain rights and privileges. And for example, like the bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah as well.
Very rite of passage,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. A lot of Jewish kids who are in 11, 12, maybe they're already trying to learn the Hebrew and everything. Here's something they don't tell you. You're going to be a bar mitzvah whether you can read the Torah or not. You don't have to do it. When you turn 13, you are a bar mitzvah. That's
really?
it. You're done. Yes. The reason you read the Torah and everything is so you get all the money from your relatives. Because man, some of those kids rake it in.
Really?
Yeah.
Did both of your kids go through it? I know.
Jules did, and it was amazing, just amazing, beautiful. And Hudson was like, "Nah." And I told him that fact. I said, "You know what? Your bar mitzvah. Don't worry about it."
As long as you can do without the money.
Yeah.
Without the money.
I don't know where he stands spiritually. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I think he's an atheist,
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's an interesting boy. We'll see.
He seems like he's spiritual. Yeah. Maybe not like religious, but spiritual.
Yes. Well, that's true. And he cares. He's a humanist like my mom was,
Then you also have the quinceañera.
Yes.
Hispanic and Latino cultures.
Yes. I live across from Griffith Park, and there a lot of them get their photos across the street. So you see them. Yeah. It's really
very
awesome.
Beautiful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then people also have the Sweet 16 party in this country.
Do they? I don't know. Wasn't that a debutante thing where it was like they're coming out?
What does
that mean anyway? Coming out mean it's time to have sex? Like, what does that mean?
I don't know, but they used to have that in Kansas City, the debutante ball or something.
Yes, they did. Yep, we were never invited.
Oh no!
Did you ever go to a debutante ball? Hell no. I never even came close. I never even knew anyone who went to a debutante ball.
Never out in the parking lot tailgating before.
I think Scott Freiberg's sister might have gone to one. Because she was just gorgeous. And she ended up dating George Brett, Kansas City Royals, for a little while. No. He was like 3 times her age.
Yeah, I was going to say many years later, hopefully.
She's awesome, though. I'm still in touch with her. Great person.
That's great. Well, congratulations to her and George Brett.
Yes. Yes.
But you think about certain birthdays or ages that we reach. For example, at 16, you can start driving.
Mm-hmm.
18, you can vote.
You used to be able to drink beer at 18. We did. Yeah, they ended that.
We're in that.
Mm-hmm. You can buy a gun at 18.
You can buy a gun at 18. Mm-hmm. 21, you can start drinking now.
Yeah.
And then, once you get into your 60s and hopefully you retire, I don't know. I think I'll be working until I jump in the hole myself.
Yeah.
But you could start drawing Social Security and Medicare. And then after that, I was thinking once you hit like 80, 90, 100, those are kind of like the Jesus, you're still here birthdays.
Yes. It's all just a long game at that point. It's how far is he going to go? Yeah. There's like, it's the unsaid death pool. Everybody's like, what do you think? Is he going to make 100? No. Fortunately for me, the Lehrs all die young. I think the McCrays do too.
Yeah.
So we'll be long gone.
See, I'm coming into
a couple of years left. You're really there.
I know.
How old was your dad?
58, and tomorrow I turn 58.
Yeah. So this is probably your last podcast.
Yeah, it may be.
And how old was your brother?
62.
Okay. Jesus. It's going to happen soon.
McCray grandfather was 62. So it's the 58 to 62 is kind of like the, there's some turbulence in there.
I don't know. I'd give you a few more years because you quit smoking, you quit drinking.
I'm trying to exercise more now because of it. I kind of got a little spooked.
Yeah. Well, don't give yourself a heart attack. You know what I mean? Don't do too much.
How were you on your 21st birthday? Did you go crazy after your 21st? People really go out drinking hard.
Yeah, I think I did. I mean, I was but I was going hard almost every day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if I was going harder. I mean, I'm sure I passed out. I'm sure I vomited. I'm sure I took drugs other than alcohol. But that was a Saturday.
Yeah.
Or a Friday or a Thursday or most Tuesdays. Right? You were around.
What was on TV?
Yeah.
But these date-specific celebrations were not always important to humans. And it's because Redlich says that for a lot of our history, people didn't know how to calculate dates.
Well, yeah, people forget. I would forget if I didn't have if I didn't, I don't know. If we didn't have good timekeeping and calendars, all of that stuff.
Right. And as we talked about in our sleep episode, it wasn't until the late 1800s that we really started to standardize time in order to get everybody to get up and go to work.
Yes.
But the other thing, for much of history, people were just too poor. They were just too poor to worry about. You were just trying to stay alive, and to worry about like, oh God, now I got to work harder to come up with some flour to make a cake for everybody to come over here. And,
How about we use that flour to keep the family alive for another week?
I know. And in her book, Cake, A Slice of History, Alyssa Levin says that in England, it wasn't until 1836 when the Deaths Registration Act came about, and it mandated that people record their birth dates instead of their baptism dates. That ordinary people began recognizing specific yearly birthdays on specific dates.
Okay. So you had record keeping.
Right. And it wasn't just because the baptism could happen days, weeks, or even months after.
Were you baptized?
I was baptized.
I think I was too. I'm not 100% sure. Although I don't have to worry about it. The Mormons will do it. They baptize everybody.
Yeah. They'll just come around with hoses for everybody. Up and down the street, baptizing everybody.
Hey, everybody. That's hilarious. It's like an ice cream truck.
Yeah. You just walk up to it and they
plays music and we all wander out and they just spray us down and we're all baptized. I love that.
But 1836, that's relatively recent for most people to really start worrying about the actual day that you were born.
Yeah, not even 200 years.
And Redlich says in ancient pagan cultures, people tended to believe that evil spirits visited people on their birthdays.
What?
Hence, people used to surround the birthday celebrant during the celebration in order to protect him or her from the evil eye.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. The pagans, they just get it right.
Yeah.
They really do.
Come over, hang out with me.
Yeah, sit close, protect me from the evil eye. I love that.
And they said that these celebrations were characterized by loud singing and noisy dancing, which I also
love it.
Yeah. And that was supposed to drive away the evil spirits. And therefore, in those times, Redlich says, it was not customary to bring gifts to the celebrant, only good wishes and pure intentions.
Yeah. It's the pagans. Loud singing and loud music and dancing. You know what that means.
Yeah. You get another gift.
Happy birthday.
We all enjoy your gift this year.
Maybe that's when the spanking started.
But I was thinking, I'm going to try that next time I go to a birthday party. Be like, happy birthday. I didn't want to insult you by getting you a gift. I've just brought you good intentions.
I don't generally get people gifts. I really don't. Huh?
Oh, I know.
If I show up, I'm not.
Believe me, I
know.
Look,
I made it. I don't know. I guess I do sometimes. I don't know.
Wait, is it you made it? That's your gift? Is that you showed up?
You invited me. I showed up. Let's have fun.
Wow.
I'm a horrible person, aren't I?
Somebody needs a little socialization, I think.
Although I do love it when the kids were little. I love giving little kids money. Their parents would freak out. I'd hand them a 5 spot.
Give them a check. I have an aunt who, and I just received it from her, since I've been like 6 years old, every year sends me $1.
Oh.
And now it's become like a joke because she's kept it going. And we both know it's a joke. Oh. And she's kept it going every year on my birthday, all through my 20s and my 30s, 40s.
That's
and I
really
just got
sweet.
$1. Yeah.
I wonder, $58. I mean, if you'd invested that, you'd have $72 today.
Yeah. I blew it all. But the idea, how are you with bachelor parties?
I hate them. I just hate them.
Yeah.
I mean, when I drank, it was a different thing. But now when you're sober and you're going to a strip club and everybody's pitching in to get the guy a blowjob before he has his wedding, and you know, like his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is. I remember I was at a birthday party at a hotel room.
Yeah.
Okay, and they had strippers come into the hotel room.
Yeah.
And they were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And the groom to be turned to me and he said, "Hey, whatever happens here stays in here." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going right home and telling my wife, here's your first lesson on getting married, dude."
Yeah. You tell everything.
I don't want her hearing about this from anybody but me. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah. And you can't stop me either. It was your cockamamie idea to have this thing."
I'm always surprised with, everybody's always like, "Oh, the bachelor party is going to be so-and-so's last, bachelor or bachelorette. It's going to be their last few days of freedom." Mm-hmm. So they got to really cut loose. And then the people who are going crazy are the people that are already married. Exactly. And it's always gross. And it's just, it's never fun at the end. Even when I was drinking, it was just like, you'd wake up and it was terrible. You know what? A friend of mine had his bachelor party was in a graveyard. Really?
And, yes. And we were all toasting.
Strippers?
No, we were all saying goodbye to his bachelorhood.
Oh, nice.
And it was really great. We had Indian food. It was fantastic.
All
it was over there at Forever Hollywood. Forever. Yeah, you can rent a what's that called? A mausoleum, where it's a tomb. Yeah. And some poor guy died and now we're having a party.
Oh, yeah.
But it was great. I
told you I trained to be a docent out there. And hopefully, because some of those were still, when I was over there, it was still in a little bad shape. So hopefully they've done a little work with it. Yeah.
Well, they have movies in there. I saw The Shining in there, which was, that was great.
Oh, it's a fan that Alfalfa Schweitzer is over there. Like, a lot of great people in there. Yeah. Valentino is in there. Yeah. Douglas Fairbanks Senior is there.
I think they just put Anne Heche in there.
Really?
I thought so. I don't know. I could have that wrong.
I always thought if I died when I was in Hollywood, I'd want to be cremated and then put in one of those so people.
I'll put you in there. You want me to put you in there?
Yeah.
All right.
Try to get me close to Valentino. Try to get me close to Valentino.
I won't pay for it. I'll put you in there illegally.
Just throw me over the wall.
Right on top of Valentino. I'm going to dig a trench, pour you in, and then cover it back up.
It was what else was I thinking about that? It was I can't remember what it was. But anyway, Redlick notes that in ancient history, it was again only rich people and kings and nobility that knew the actual day they were born on. So usually the birthdays that were celebrated were for kings and pharaohs.
Because that's important, because they're the heir to the throne. So yes, it's an important day. I've learned that from Game of Thrones. And usually all my history.
I
had no idea there were dragons back then in the Middle Ages.
You know what I would say? Keep quoting or keep throwing out tidbits, but don't tell people where you got it from. Don't cite your source.
Okay? Valerian steel is stronger than anything.
And then just leave it there. Let them go out and look for it. If they want to. If not, just how you present Valerian steel. They're telling people, like, John Lehr told me that Valerian steel was
the only thing that could kill a White Walker.
And then in birthday rituals, friends and patrons in Roman poetry and cult, Kathryn Argetsinger says that ancient Romans would celebrate the birthdays of past and present emperors and members of the imperial family, as well as the emperor's Natalis Imperii, which was his accession day.
When he actually took the throne.
Right.
But isn't that the same as somebody else's death day?
One man's ceiling
when your dad died.
One man's ceiling's another man's floor, right?
It's so true. So true.
And then the ancient Romans were actually the wealthy Romans were the first people really to celebrate birthdays for individual people, like normal people.
Well, the Romans knew how to party.
Yeah. And they believed that each of us had a personal deity or spirit that was born with us and looked out for us throughout our lives.
Wow, I learned that from Harry Potter.
Yeah, it is like Harry Potter. What were they called in Harry Potter?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
they were hard to remember. They were hard to conjure. I know that.
Yeah. I can't remember what they were.
Yeah, if we were Gen Z, we would know.
For the Romans, the spirit was called a genius, which is where we get the idea of our having genius. It was a spirit, a creative force.
Okay.
And for women, it was called a Juno. And on your birthday was not just a personal celebration for you, but you would also have to like make an offering to your personal spirit.
Oh.
To say thank you for watching over me this year.
Oh, that's nice. Keeps you humble.
Yeah.
It's not all about you, about your genius.
Right. In the morning, you would get up and you'd have an offering, which would be like cake and wine to your personal spirit.
A poor person that you would decapitate.
And again, this offering would come with a vota or like a prayer. You know, like we have votive candles.
Right.
Now,
interesting.
but you'd have a vota that you would say, and you'd be kind of like, hey, thanks for looking out for me. Can you please do it again this year? Keep looking out for me. Here's some wine and some cake. So.
Well, the Jews do that, every year on Yom Kippur. They ask to be written in the book for another, another year.
Is that... each year you renew it, though, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's kind of it's not a very fun. You fast and then you ask God to forgive you for all the stuff. You admit wrongs that you've committed. And
right.
Yeah.
It's like a subscription. It's like a yearly subscription to Hulu or something.
Yeah. You got to get renewed. You know, at the end of every year for Amazon, you have to pay that fee.
Yeah. It's like Costco.
You got your free shipping all year, but now it's time for the Prime fee.
We're up in the payment on it, so you better be really good.
Every year it goes up a little bit more.
The other thing that Romans would do is they would celebrate someone else's birthday.
Oh,
even if they weren't with that person.
Oh my God, who was born on the same day?
No, it would be like I would say to you. It would be a sign of how much I loved you or how much I respected you. I would be like, John, by the way, like on November 25th or something, I'd be like, John, by the way, even though we weren't together, I want you to know I went out to eat and I had a nice dinner for your birthday.
So sweet.
Yeah.
On your birthday, you celebrated my future birthday?
No, it would be like on your birthday.
On my birthday?
Yeah.
You would not come to me. You would just celebrate me somewhere else. Okay, that's insane. No wonder the empire fell.
I know. It'd be like me sending you photos of me having like an extravagant dinner by myself without you. I'd say, happy birthday, John.
They were so successful. The roads, the plumbing, everything they did, but that cockamamie birthday thing.
And Argetsinger, she quotes a poem by the Roman writer Martial, who wrote to his friend Quintus Ovidius and said, quote, "If you believe me, Quintus Ovidius, I love your April birthday as much as my own in March. And so I should. Each is a happy day to be marked with a fairer stone. The one gave me life, but the other gave me a friend. Your birthday, Quintus, gave me more."
Yeah, but you couldn't go to his house and tell him that?
And then it gets really bad. Like Marcus Aurelius wrote to his friend Fronto, and he said, "I know that on birthdays, friends undertake vows for the one whose birthday it is. But because I love you just as I love my own self, on this birthday of yours, I want to offer prayers on my own behalf."
What?
Yeah.
So he gave himself a present. Jesus.
I'm going to do that again next birthday. I'm going to bring in a big gift and be like, I love you as much as I love myself. And your birthday is as important as my own birthday.
What a way to steal somebody's birthday. I know. I mean, that's crazy.
I got this for myself to honor you. You know what I mean?
Because I honor you so much, I know that I need to honor myself. And so I got myself this. And it's all because of you.
I love it. I love it.
So
I look forward to seeing what you do for my birthday.
Okay, I'm going to do something for you tomorrow. I'm going to get myself something.
Enjoy. I'm sure I'll enjoy seeing you open it. So, happy birthday to me. I guess
I was going to get you Watson socks because I know how much you love them. But now I'm going to get them for myself.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Thank you.
It's a big... I will. So just some of the birthday traditions we have, for example, birthday cake in Cake, A Slice of History. Alyssa Levin says that the principal joy of the cake is marking someone out as special for that day. Because usually, and now we probably eat cake all the time, but there was a time in history where people didn't eat cake on a daily basis. And then, it's always, I was thinking about, it's always, when you do get that cake, it's always like a very special event for your birthday.
Sure is.
And then usually if you don't eat it all, then it goes in the fridge and you keep eating on that thing for a couple
Not
days.
Me. I throw that stuff away.
Do you?
Yeah. As soon as everybody's gone, it's going right in the trash. I'm done with that. I'm done with it because I'll eat it all up because I grew up that way where you eat everything and you don't throw away food. But with cake, I'm like, no, fuck it. I'm not going to do it.
Really?
My mom had a thing that she did for both me and my brother where she laid when we were 1, I think, or no, we must have been older than 1.
Yeah.
2, maybe. I don't know. But she laid a sheet down and put a cake in the middle and sat us by the cake. And everybody would just watch us go crazy. Isn't that weird?
Just the cake? Did you have the whole, like a meatloaf? Give him a meatloaf. Let's see what he does.
It was just a kid and a cake. I'll try to find photos.
Yeah. She probably got like a painter's drop cloth or something.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. Just see me eat all this cake. And they would all the adults just sat around and, my grandfather smoking a pipe, just looking at me eating a cake. It was so bizarre.
I was thinking, I always eat the cake. I try to eat it all up. And after a few days, it's almost like returning. It's a metaphor for you returning back symbolically.
Because the cake turns on you. Yeah. Oh, God. And you keep eating it.
Yeah.
See, that's what I used to do. You got to do what I do. Just throw it out. Just do it.
It's pretty hard after, the icing is hard. The cake itself is hard. After it's like, okay, my birthday.
And if it's ice cream cake, it doesn't matter because it's all freezer burnt. And it's just, no. Toss it. Sacrifice it to your genius.
Yeah. Here. Hey, man, I got some cake for you.
Yeah, keep me alive another year.
Yeah, I'd microwave that before you try to eat it. But and what Levin says too is that, again, to heighten the idea that this is so special, if we think about we light the candles for the cake, which goes back to apparently the Romans and Greeks would make cakes to the goddess Artemis of the moon, and they put candles on the cake to make it look like the moon, shimmer like the moon.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And then, the idea when you blow out the candles, you say a wish and blow out the candles, the smoke is supposed to take your wish up to heaven. Again, kind of like incense.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
But you think about the procession, like we light the candle in another room, the birthday celebrant is seated at a table, and then you come out and it's a procession out of the kitchen with a cake.
Yeah.
And so it's all, again, to make them feel special, like nobility almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they're uncomfortable. That's always a nice moment. I like how uncomfortable the person is.
Yeah. And she says, finally, the cake is cut and distributed to guests in a form of junior largesse. So it's almost like a king passing out bits of, we bring tribute to him in the form of gifts, or her. and then they divvy out the cake and give it to us as a form of their largesse.
I see. I see. To show you how wonderful I am, I'm going to give you a piece of the cake.
Right.
That's
Kind of
nice.
like I'm like King Louis or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here you are. You can now eat.
And I remember, when you would go to birthday parties as a kid, remember, it was always like, there were some people that took it so seriously. Like, they would just we all had to like fawn over them.
Oh.
You know what I mean? We all had to like.
Oh. And then they give the kids, they would give a lot of the birthday parties. Somehow it started at some age where the parents would give gift baskets to the kids who attended. And then we all had to do that every time we had a birthday. You know what I mean? It just one lady in the neighborhood gave all the kids bats, plastic bats.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell she was thinking, because those kids got those bats.
Yeah.
And all hell broke loose.
Yeah. You're worried about spanking. You're giving them bats.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They were hitting each other in the head. It was just, you give everybody plastic. Like 30 kids suddenly had plastic bats looking for shit to hit.
Just a gang. Just let them out on Los Feliz Boulevard and see what they can.
I don't know what she was thinking.
Let's take them down to the subway and see what happens. John, what was when we did our show?
Yes.
The live show. Yes. There was a birthday story that you told.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you could tell it again.
Yes, you reminded me of this, and I'd be happy to tell it. I don't know how old I was. I was probably around 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And I suddenly, during the year, decided that I was going to be a BMX racer. And I had no, I wasn't good at any sports at all. And that's probably why I did it, to be able to tell girls that, well, I'm not on the football team or baseball team, but I'm a BMX racer, which is bicycle motocross. And so I got a bicycle, a very expensive. I mean, at the time, it was a Schwinn bike with
a Schwinn,
yeah, it was a Schwinn. It had a red line forks and a double mongoose clamp for the steering wheel. It was very nice. And for my birthday, I went. I had already asked for my birthday BMX stuff, or people knew that I was a BMX racer, and so. Unbeknownst to me, all my friends went in on a BMX helmet. Now, what they didn't know was that prior to the birthday party, when they bought me all that gear, I had gone to a race with my mom.
So you were already into it without ever having seen
gear.
one.
I had enough gear to do that first race.
Yeah.
And I did that first race, and I didn't even finish the race. I didn't even do it. I don't think I even did it. I saw other races, and they were so fucking scary and violent. I was like, nope. And my mom and I silently walked expensive BMX, back to the station wagon, put it in, and came home. So cut to this surprise party where all my friends got me all this gear, and there's this photo of me, because they wanted to see me in the gear. So I put it all on, and I'm standing there, and they're taking a picture of me. Now, I know that I'm a fraud, that I'm not a BMX racer. I will never be a BMX racer. But if you see me in that outfit, you can kind of see through the goggles, because they got the goggles, they got the dirt mask, they got the everything. That I'm just a total fraud and just pretending that I'm a BMX racer when I know in my heart I will never use any of this equipment ever.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do with it? Was it a garage sale afterwards?
No, I don't know what happened to it all. That's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the gloves were they were lambskin. The gloves were really good.
They really went out of
they went out of their way. And I got these goggles with this connector sort of dirt mask, I guess, that's kind of the filter and the oh my God, it was horrid. It was just
So John, what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at a few birthday traditions from around the world.
Yes.
And I'll say it was very hard to find academic books with traditions from around the world.
Ooh, maybe we found our hole.
Yeah, we should
get in there.
Because I had to mostly buy children's books on birthday traditions from around the world.
That's amazing.
And one of the books I found was called Birthdays Around the World by Margaret Ruers and Ashley Barron. Yeah, Ruurs.
Margaret and Ashley. They put it together.
Right.
Thank God.
And one of the traditions they talk about in Jamaica, people play pranks on the birthday person, and that is to throw flowers or throw flour, Flour, on somebody to make it look like they're aging.
Oh, okay.
Like they have gray hair. They have gray hair.
Oh, I see. They look like me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know what we'd throw on you.
That's what this is. This is flour.
We throw cocoa on you. Cocoa
go the other way.
He's
the worm has turned.
He's getting younger. In Latvia, they put a boy or girl in a chair and raise them up and down.
Oh, that's like the Jewish tradition.
What's that? The hora or what?
What's that? Yeah, you were involved in that. You lifted me up.
Yeah, I wanted to let you have it. Don't take him down. Keep him up there. In Belgium, people will in the morning. People will come into the birthday celebrant's birthday, banging pots and pans.
Oh Jesus!
And singing the birthday song "Lang zal Hijleven." Whatever that means.
Early in the morning, they wake him up that way? Oh,
yeah.
I'm never going to celebrate in Belgium. Never.
Our friend Jim and I, who directed a lot of shows that we were involved in, he and I once tried to think of what was the lowest form of humor. And mine was spraying somebody with a garden hose. I think that's always one of the lowest. There's only one person that enjoys that.
Right. Right. It's just...
Yeah. And so I thought I had him, and then he went one lower. He said just banging a pot in somebody's face when they're asleep.
But what about pain? Wouldn't pain be lower? Where you just trip somebody so they spill?
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, that's another good one. In the Netherlands, people they congratulate everybody. So, like if you go to a party, you'll congratulate the birthday person's sister, their brother, their mom, dad.
Okay.
Gefeliciteerd. So, and then when they turn 50, the big joke in the Netherlands is you start calling them Abraham or Sarah.
Oh, Jesus. God. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I don't know how long that goes on.
Yeah, boy, is that funny.
And then in Vietnam, everybody celebrates their birthday on Tet. Like they all have the same birthday. The Tet holiday
is when everybody celebrates.
Right. So no matter when your actual birthday is throughout the year, you wait until Tet.
Oh, so we all do it at one time. That is a good idea.
Isn't that a great idea?
That is a really good idea.
And in the article, Tet is everyone's birthday. Marianne Engel quotes a person in Vietnam who says, Tet is, quote, the holiest day of the year for us. It is everyone's birthday. It is our Thanksgiving and a time for renewal. We give gifts to family and friends. We make offerings to our ancestors and ask them for guidance. We don't want the year to have a bad start, so we make amends to anyone with whom we've quarreled.
Wow.
But everyone celebrates it on the same day.
Like, now, what was the Tet Offensive, that famous battle?
In 1968, it was during the Tet holiday, which is the biggest holiday in Vietnam. Okay. And that's when the Viet Cong launched their offensive during the Tet and caught everybody by surprise.
Because everybody, okay.
So that was, and again, most Americans will think of the Tet Offensive, but the Tet is still like a big holiday for people. So.
That's interesting.
All right, John. Well, we've got a little bit of history on birthdays, so I think it's time for us to go to our food.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm already over here. There's a lot of it.
Well, it's me. I'm showing you my junior largesse.
Thank you. I'm going to eat this, and it's celebrating your birthday tomorrow. This is my gift to myself to celebrate you.
Well, I hope this is for all of our listeners as well. Happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you, and my personal spirit.
Your genius.
Thank you as well.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead. Let's start out. The first one I prepared for us is from Australia.
Okay. Which one is that?
It's called fairy bread.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
Now, it looks like some bread with sprinkles on it, with jimmies on it.
It is. But from what I read, this is a very popular dish for birthdays for kids in Australia. And
it makes sense. Everybody loves bread. I mean, that's possibly the most important invention we've ever had, maybe after fire. Certainly the wheel. It's more important than the wheel. I would put bread ahead of the wheel, for sure. And then our other invention, sugar.
Yeah, the jimmies.
The two things humans really, this is what life is.
Yeah.
They're right.
It's white bread with butter on it, and then you put the sprinkles on it. And this goes back to the first time it was recorded was in 1929, called fairy bread.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of seems like,
not that to old. Me, Australia is a young country, though.
Yeah.
It's good. Why wouldn't it be? Sugar, butter, bread.
I know, it really is good.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me like one of those Depression era type treats, though. You know what I mean? They're like, when I was little, my mom would never buy cookies or anything for us because she thought they were a waste of money, too expensive.
Yeah, mine
so
either.
when I'd be like, hey, I need something sweet, or what, my mom would tell me to go make milk toast.
What's that?
Milk toast. It's from the Depression. And you would butter some toast and then put sugar and cinnamon on it and then pour milk on top of it.
Ooh, that's gross.
Yes.
I liked you up until the milk. My mom used to eat popcorn as cereal when she was a kid.
I know.
And how about this? My dad, every now and then, would pull out a raw potato and eat it like an apple.
Oh, I can't do it. I've tried that before.
What the hell is that? My brother and I would just look at him.
It leaves a film on the inside of your mouth, the potato, like that.
No.
But anyway, that's very good. I would say that's a good treat.
I took 3 bites. That should say something.
So from Australia, fairy bread was our first course.
Thank you, Australia.
We now move on, John, to the Oto, which is from Ghana, and it's going to be the orange.
The orange, okay.
And this is apparently from what I read, this is mashed up yams with red onions, and it's usually served with a boiled or a hard-boiled egg with it.
Well, my daughter went camping and took all the eggs with her, so I have to go eggless. Unfortunately, I love hard-boiled eggs.
How are you with yams? Are you
love
with
them?
Yams?
Love them.
And so this is apparently all special days in Ghana. People like to make oto. It's a very traditional.
It's
Ghanaian.
Delicious. You did a good job. I can see the diced red onion in there.
Yeah. Ooh, that tastes good.
Yeah.
That's very
Why
good.
wouldn't it?
I don't know. After last week's episode talking about like poisoning people with at the potlucks, as I was sending this out to you, I was like, "Oh God, I hope he doesn't thaw this out and then freeze it again."
Oh, okay. But I welcome death. I've made total peace
on my birthday.
On your birthday,
give me the ultimate
I'd
birthday.
Steal gift. It. That'd be me. That'd be the gift to me. Is I would steal your birthday forever. Because it'd be the day that I died.
I'd be like, look at he made his way into
son of a bitch.
The convention hall just to die here. He couldn't do it out in the car. You know, we couldn't find him after my party. He made it in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we move on, John. We go to sandwiches de miga, D-E and then M-I-G-A, which means crumb in Spanish.
Okay.
And these are from Argentina. And these are, again, usually on birthdays, but also any special events. They're just little like finger sandwiches.
They look good. You cut the
And
crust off, which is really nice. I appreciate
that's what
that.
they said to do. They said for a sandwich de miga, you want to cut the crust off. People can put anything they want in them because I was, they'll put like corn or they'll put tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers. Because I was freezing this and sending it to you, I couldn't put a tomato in there. So this is, we have queso fresca. We have ham. We have some salmon spread.
Oh,
and green olives on it.
Oh my God.
so.
Mmm.
Mmm.
Mmm. Mmm.
That's very good.
Very good.
Sandwich de miga.
Oh man, I like that one.
Mmm.
Sandwich de miga. Thank you, Argentina.
Very light, but also very good, I think.
I like that it's a sandwich, too, because I feel like at your birthday, when you're having a party,
yeah,
you don't get a chance to eat anything because you're talking to people and stuff, and then you eat that cake, and it's just like, ooh, it just hits you hard.
Yeah, they say it's almost. I when I read about it, they say like big groups of people will usually get together to make these because there's so much you have to do, like spreading the. It's a layered sandwich, so there's like
so good. Well done, you, by the way.
So
happy birthday to me.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
I love the green olives in there.
Yeah, it wasn't that tasty, but they say everyone will get together almost like making tamales or something, and then make a bunch of these sandwiches de miga for the party so that they're all ready when people come over.
Whenever we were really broke, I would come over to your place. I knew you could always whip up some cheap ass food that was really good. What was that?
Rice, red beans, and corn, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember that one, but you did another one that had like garbanzo beans in it.
Yeah.
Was that the same one?
Same one. I added garbanzo just to stay alive, just more protein in there.
Yeah. So. God, yeah. We lived off that.
So now, John, we go to China, and in China, usually for birthdays, people will eat longevity noodles.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to eat noodles as a symbol of long life. And I'll tell you, I had originally ordered us some really amazing online from China, some specific birthday longevity noodles that were supposed to come in this like special container.
Oh, wow.
And if you look, they send you the noodles, and there's that guy that kind of looks like he's from Kill Bill down there.
Yeah.
For age, but these are specifically birthday longevity noodles. And I'll have to send them out to you. But they also came with a special set of birthday chopsticks.
Oh.
If you see that online.
Yeah.
And at the last minute, they didn't come. I had to send this all out by Wednesday of last week, and they came yesterday. So I have some that I'll send to you. But
so what did you send me? Is this just rice-a-roni or something?
No, this is. I just ordered them. I just ordered from a local Chinese restaurant. But we have to eat some noodles to represent long life. So,
very good.
Okay.
Boy, I've got birthday food all over the place here in my office. It's fantastic. So far, we haven't had a miss, in my opinion.
I know. They're all very good.
Very good.
We'll probably we're going to keep eating until we hit like any birthday we don't feel well, I guess.
Yeah, there'll be a dud.
So next, though, we come to from Brazil, brigadeiros.
Okay.
And they're the little chocolate. They almost look like bonbons.
Yes, they do. And what's in there? These look good. Did you make these too?
No. You can make it. They're very easy. There's only like 4 ingredients in them, but they're from Brazil. And apparently in Brazil, they make you can get brigadeiros from like all year round, but they're usually for special events. And they have cocoa and condensed milk and I guess just I don't know. I'd have to see the red, but they say they're very easy to make. But they go back to the 1940s, and they were invented as a fundraising treat for a general, a brigadier general who was running for president of Brazil at the time. And that's why they're called brigadeiros.
Well, I heart brigadeiros. These are right up my alley.
Oh my God. It's so creamy in there.
Oh,
so creamy.
Condensed milk, man.
I know. And on her box for the brigadeiros.
Oh my God, that's good.
Layla's empanadas or chocolates in Phoenix is where I got them from.
Oh.
And she says on her box, it's not a truffle, not fudge, not a bonbon. It's a brigadeiro.
Yeah, she's right. She's absolutely right. Nailed it.
And she says on the box, a taste of a brigadeiro is like a wish come true.
I totally agree. This brigadeiro just turned my day around.
It's amazing. The creaminess on the inside of that thing is really good, huh?
I bet I could eat 47 of these.
I know what you're getting for your birthday next year. 4 dozen brigadeiros.
Cool Hand Luke. We just lay me down on a table and
keep him going. Get him up walking around. Get him walking around. He's not done yet, John. You got 2 dozen left.
I can do it.
All right, John. So now we go to
that was good.
From southern India. We have payesh.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And payesh is rice pudding. In northern India, it's sometimes called kheer. But in southern India, it's called payesh. And it's milk, rice, sugar, and cardamom. And the Kitchen of Debjani website, Debjani says that the word payesh actually comes from the Sanskrit word payasam, which means milk. Oh. And so there was a lot of, this was like rice, and then I put it in milk, and then cashews in there as well.
You made this, huh? Oh, yeah.
That's very good.
You got to be into pudding, though, to take it. You know what I mean? You got to know what you're doing here.
Yeah.
You can't just give this to somebody off the street.
I could see how that would be a birthday treat. Having that would be delicious.
It's good because it's got some starch in there or something to kind of, I just think it'd be a good thing, especially for birthday parties when you're drinking heavily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to set a foundation in your stomach.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely rice and milk, which should help you when I don't know, when you're drinking or it's not just all sugar is the whole thing.
And it's I like it. The cashews were nice touch on the cashews.
Oh, thank you. So John, now we're going to move on to our next cake is Tres Leches cake.
Now which one is that? Is that the green one?
No, that's going to be
the white one with okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this one, again, I bought this one, but Tres Leches cakes comes from Mexico, or originally there's a debate about whether it started in Nicaragua or Mexico.
Okay.
But Tres Leches cake is a sponge cake soaked in evaporated milk, condensed milk, and whole milk. So those are
the three leches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, they weren't joking around.
Right. And apparently there's a tradition in Mexico called La Mordida, which means the bite. And when someone gets ready, the birthday person gets ready to take a bite of their birthday cake, someone stands behind them and then shoves their face into the cake.
Oh, it's like weddings. Like at weddings when they do that. I hate that tradition.
Me too.
I don't need it.
I was getting ready to get married, and my aunt, who sends me the $1, pulled me aside. And she was like, Jonathan, she calls me, my name's not Jonathan, it's John. But she goes, Jonathan, if you shove her face in that cake, I will disown you forever.
Aww.
Because, again, it's like
a good idea. And they've spent so much money getting ready and everything. No, let's just eat some wedding cake. Huh?
Yeah. And then it's also like, to me, people do it. People do it all the time now. It's not even like that fresh anymore, like that novel. So it's almost, I would say, instead of paying...
it was not novel the second time somebody did it.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say, instead of paying for like ballroom dancing lessons, if you're going to do it, go to clown school.
Yeah.
And figure out some way to do the pie or the cake. Something new with that.
It's just doing something cruel to your wife or husband, right? When you're getting, it just seems crazy. It's sort of like the strip club blowjob thing. It's like, what are you doing? What is this?
And the bride now has like icing up her nose.
Yeah, the whole thing. Terrible idea. Let's stop it.
It gets a little
that from now on. If you're a listener and you did that to your wedding, go apologize to your spouse.
And not again. Don't
Never
do it again.
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes it gets a little out of control. You know what I mean? When people are really trying to like get the cake in the face.
It's too much.
But apparently in Mexico, for a birthday, maybe la mordida means the bite. And then, once you get pushed into the cake, then everyone yells, "Hey, the bite, the bite." So here it is. We have tres leches cake with 2 candles in it. And the reason I put 2 candles on it is traditionally what people would do with the candles is you'd have one for each year of their birth and then 1 extra candle for the coming year.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really good. I love that.
So I'll say a wish.
We're going to put flames on mine in post because my daughter, in addition to taking all the eggs for her camping trip, took there's no lighter matches in the entire house. So I apologize.
Oh, that's fine. So I have it going over here. I'll say a wish for both of us and for all of our listeners.
And make mine as good as yours. Don't leave me with some crappy one.
We'll see. It's going to be my wish is about you.
Oh, Jesus. I don't want it. Don't do the wish.
We'll see if it comes up. All right. So here we go. And then the smoke carries our wish up into the ether, to the spirits.
I smell burnt already. You son of a bitch. You gave me a stroke.
It happens already. It was quick. Thank you, genius. All right. This is tres leches. It has traditional Mexican cake for birthdays. Has 3 types of milk: evaporated milk, condensed milk, and whole milk.
Oh my God. I mean, that's just good stuff.
Yeah. The texture of that cake is so good.
There is nothing wrong. Not one. You can ship that in from Albuquerque and it's still going to taste good. You know what I mean? God.
So finally, John, we come to our last entry is a Swedish princess cake.
Yeah. Now this, mine did not travel well. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, and mine didn't freeze very well. So I'll tell you a story about it. This is like a very famous cake from Sweden. It was made in the early 20th century. Cecilia Tolone, an American pastry chef living in Sweden, says that the original cake was originally made for 3 of Sweden's princesses by their teacher. And it was originally called a gröntarte, which means green cake. But then it became known as the princess cake because of the princesses. And it's usually cake, vanilla cream, raspberry jam or filling, and then there's a green marzipan layer that goes over the top of it.
Yes. Did you make the marzipan?
Well, I ordered the marzipan.
Okay.
And then I rolled it, I colored it, and then rolled it out on top of this thing.
You made it green. Why'd you make it green?
Because that's what the princess cake is traditionally green.
Oh, I see.
And so I had wanted there. When you see a real princess cake, Swedish princess, they're gorgeous. They're beautiful. And the marzipan is really smooth on the top.
Yes, and I know that from the Great British Bake Off or whatever that show is. They had to make that in one episode.
Yeah, and so I wanted us to have for this show a Swedish, princess cake.
Nice.
And the thing is, they're very expensive for one thing.
Really?
And nobody ships them. Okay, and I couldn't figure out why nobody would put it in the box.
Now we know. Now we know.
yeah, exactly. So I found on one of the websites, and I put it in our reference list this week, there was a woman who said, I've figured out, I've hacked the princess cake, I can make it without baking. And so she came up with a way that she would already order the cake, and then she'd make her own cream and everything. She didn't have to bake the thing. And then I was looking at it, and I was like, I can hack that even further. Instead of the cream, I'll add vanilla pudding and Cool Whip.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Back to your roots.
Right. So
going back to your roots.
So I've MacGyvered us a Swedish princess cake.
Yours looks pretty good.
Yeah. I froze mine, but
mine didn't do so well. But it look. I can't get a good shot of it because I've got everything on one plate. Anyway, you don't need to see it because it's goddamn beautiful. Why? Because you made it, birthday boy.
Thank you. So cut into that, John. If you have a knife, cut in. But it will give you a sense of what the Swedish princess cake is like.
The layers are very uniform. That's the kind of stuff they say at the Great British Bake Off. Really. Look at that. Oh,
I just bought a pound cake, and then I layered it with this cream and vanilla whipped together that I did. Did you get a little of the marzipan on
I
there?
sure did.
Is it? They're delicious.
Oh my god. I love the jam, and the Cool Whip is. Oh god, is that good?
Yeah.
Damn. Well done. You nailed it. You hacked it all right.
It was it reminded me of the Johnny Cash song "One Piece at a Time," where he's like, he puts together, he sneaks out auto parts from the plant and puts it together over a period of 10 years or something. It tastes great.
He never did that, by the way. They've proven that.
That liar. So,
I mean, how many screws? You're going to take one screw out every shift?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
You're not falling for that. Dear Mr. Cash, I would take exception to your... All right, John, so we've come to the end of our birthday celebration.
This was wonderful. Just wonderful. Thank you so much. It was just delicious and festive.
I made a good wish for all of us, for us and our listeners, and for Watson and Company socks as well.
That's right. Well done.
For the coming year. So I wish you all good fortune. Happy birthday, everybody. We love you. John, love you.
All right. This is Human Number 2 signing off.
And this is Human Number 1. Thanks again for listening, everybody, on this special occasion and every occasion each week. We appreciate you guys, and we love you. And thank you again to Watson & Company Socks. Talk to you later, guys.
And happy birthday, Professor McCray. Love you, man. Have a great birthday.
Go out and do something for my birthday tomorrow, everybody.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.